Samyang Rokinon 35mm. Let's talk about this lens. 1.8 for the Sony E mount. Man, we're gonna talk about the specs, starting with the size. The Rokinon lens weighs 210 grams. It has a 2.5 inch size. That's it. It's 2.5 inches. Very, very small. And the minimal focus distance is 11 inches, slightly less than a foot. So you can't get the macro with this lens, but it's so portable, it's so compact. So today I'm gonna get into the focus accuracy, the focus breathing. I got several tests. I'm gonna tell you if you should buy this lens, yes or no. So Samyang Rokinon has been around for a while. Not the greatest reputation, but over the last 2 years, they have really stepped it up. And this lens is a testament to the work they put in. You know, they started with the 50mm 1.4 a few years ago, and it was horrible lens as far as autofocus. They had a 35mm 1.4, which I'm shooting on this camera right now. And the quality control with that lens was very iffy. This is my second copy to get a good lens. Took me 2 copies. So lately, Rokinon, Samyang has done a great job with the 45mm 1.8, the 35mm 1.8, the 2.8 lenses. So I gotta say, as far as the durability and reliability, they have definitely stepped it up. So I took several focus tests. We're gonna start with the first one. I was outside at the park, nice sunny day. Now let me brief you in so you know what's going on. I got the Sony 50mm 1.8 lens on the A7C, going up against the 35mm 1.8 lens on the A6600 body. The reason why I did that, because on a ASPC body, the 35mm is equivalent to a 52.5mm. So basically that's the same focal length matched up. And it's kind of at the same price point. You can buy the 50mm for Sony 1.8, same aperture, for $249. And you can buy the Samyang lens for $299, sometimes $329, depending if it's on sale or not. So that's pretty much as far as value, as far as the aperture, as far as the focal length. This is what I found was a great test for this lens, a great comparison. So let's see how it matches up. Let's check it out. All right, second test. This time I got the 35mm 1.8, hamster, flower, hamster, gimbal, hamster, flower, gimbal, flower, hamster, camera, hamster, flower, hamster, gimbal, hamster, flower, hamster, camera, hamster. So you can see in the videos that the Samyang had better sharpness, slightly better image quality overall in my opinion. If you can look at the sign above the park, It says Hyde Park something, whatever the sign said. You can see in that sign, you can see the details and the pop just from the colors. The contrast is slightly stronger on the Samyang. And one other thing, if you listen to the noise, the 50mm Sony's 50mm, it has so much focus noise. And if you're using a shotgun mic on top of your camera, you're gonna pick it up. It uses the out of body motor to focus, and it goes in and out. Whereas the Samyang used it's inside the lens, and it's virtually silent. Now, they both had an issue with focus breathing, and I'm gonna elaborate later on. As far as the focus test, I think the Samyang beats out the Sony's 50mm 1.8. Alright, it's just a 35 1.8. Same test. We're testing for focus breathing. Back out in the frame, out the frame. Let's walk back, see if it picks me up. Walking towards the camera. Let's see, 35 1.8. Shutter speed is 1/800 of a second. ISO is 100. So here's another test. I pushed it to the extreme as far as the low light capabilities of this lens. I was in the bathroom, no lights, just a slight crack. And you can see the actual footage from my, 1 second. Now you can see the actual footage from right here. This is the Pocket 2 from DJI. So I use this to give you a good representation of how much light was actually in the bathroom at this moment. And I had to crank the ISO up to 10,000, and I used the A7C to give both lenses the best capability of capturing my face in this extreme dark environment. So check it out. We got the Rokinon AF. Yeah, baby. Same situation. In the bathroom, we got the same settings. Alright, I'm about to cut everything off. Cut this light off. Got the door open. We're gonna see how this focuses, okay? Put the light down. So that's it. That's the only light that's there. Very minimal. And we got the door light coming in from the room. That's what you can see in the room right now. This is the Pocket 2, so let's press record on here. ISO is set to 25,000. Same as it was with the, what's the name? With the, alright, so, picking me up. Now let's close the door a lot like we did before. So this is the door at the very, very minimal. Slightly cracked. Let's see how this works. Can it pick me up? Doesn't see any face detection. Oh, the world is dead. So, get out of frame. Back in frame. This is definitely a torture test. Something I doubt any of us will actually do. But I wanted to give you so you can see the quality of Samyang lens and how they have stepped it up over the years. It's great at autofocus, continuous autofocus, no issues whatsoever. Who is this lens for? This lens is for anybody who wants that good 1.8 aperture. You know, you can get that blurry background, you can get that separation, but you can also get all that in such a small package. So if you got the A7C, if you got an ASPC camera, the A6400, A66, A65, A63, and you want something a 50mm equivalent, this is it. This is a great lens. It's pretty cheap. Just make sure you buy it from a place where you can return it, because there might be some slight variations amongst different copies. You never know. Let's talk about a few more features on the lens. The lens does have one switch, and it's a mode 1 and mode 2. Mode 1 is the manual controls with the ring, and mode 2 is the aperture controls with the ring. And they both work fine. And I gotta say, the aperture control is pretty smooth. It's nice to have that on a lens. You can just change the aperture slightly if you're filming. I gotta say, this lens comes highly recommended. Let's compare it to the 35mm 1.4 for Samyang, which I'm filming on right now. And me personally, I stuck with the 1.4 because I don't mind the size. The size can be a big con. A 1.4 is twice the size, easily twice the size of the 1.8. And you don't get twice the image quality. I gotta be honest with you. And the price, the 1.4 goes for $499. So this lens is almost double the price, double the size, and you're getting the 1.4. But if you get a good copy of the 1.4, it's a phenomenal lens, because in video, as you can tell right now, so watching this video, if I come in and if I back out, right, you won't see that focus breathing that you see with the 1.8. So, you know, if you don't like focus breathing and you get a great copy of 1.4, it's the way to go. But overall, value-wise, I had to give it to the 1.8. The 1.8 is a must-buy. If you need a 35mm, you know, for a full frame, it's a great buy. If you need a 50mm for an ASP crop sensor, it's a great buy. I highly recommend this lens. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. See you next time. Let's talk.